Hey, what is going on, guys? Cobra here, and welcome back to another edition of Transfer Gossip. Don't forget, when a new FIFA comes out, the videos will return for that, and the gossip will probably slow down until like January, and vice versa. So it's all good. We're hitting up with the gossip quite a lot recently. We're kicking this off anyway with Johnny Evans. Now, this is, I think I mentioned it like previously. It's probably one of the stranger rumours that we're ever going to see. Manchester City wanted to sign Johnny Evans. That was like one of the headlines recently. And they have been told it now costs 30 million. Apparently they've had like an 18 million pound bid rejected, which I find absolutely crazy. Why they want him, I don't really know. You know, maybe it's because the fact that he'll be I don't know, like a backup. God knows. I don't know. I think Johnny Evans is a decent player, but to get into Manchester City's side, no. Is he good enough to play for Manchester City? No, not for me. But that is the reality that they are trying to get Johnny Evans anyway. So next up is, probably a centre-back that's a lot better, and a lot of, rumours have been going on about him quite a lot, and that is obviously Virgil van Dijk. Now, he's been training with I think, under 18s now. That's what the level it's got to after handling like a transfer request and all stuff like that. And Juventus apparently will come in for the Southampton centre-back, but also, more importantly, Southampton have just signed Wesley Hoed from Lazio for a £15 million fee. So they basically signed a replacement. They did also sign a Polish centre-back anyway. I can't remember the name, but they've also, they've made signings in that area, which kind of says to me that they are going to try and get rid of Van Dijk now. Obviously, bringing him in for 15 million kind of means that that is his replacement and that Van Dijk can now leave. Again, if they get 60 million for him, they've done it really, really well. I guess Liverpool will probably go back in for him. Chelsea at the moment look terribly defensively, so they may go back in for him. And even Manchester City still are a bit shaky defensively. Next up, Ben Gibson is another player on the Manchester City radar. They're set to give up on Johnny Evans. I've mentioned before, it'll cost them 30 million. Don't think they're willing to pay that. They're set to give up on him and go for the Middlesbrough defender. What a really, really good season in the Premier League last season when Middlesbrough got relegated. Next up, Jamie Vardy, bit of a strange one. Don't forget he's not a CDM. Chelsea are to make a shock bid for Jamie Vardy. Now, obviously, I don't really know why. Chelsea have got obviously Costa moments who will probably end up leaving. They've signed Morata as his replacement, and then they got Batshuayi on the bench, and they've just let Bertrand Traore go, who could play up front as well. They've just let him go. Obviously, Tammy Abraham's on loan. I don't understand why they want another striker, but they are apparently preparing that shock move for Jamie Vardy. Next up, Ross Barkley. His future is still in the balance. I'm probably going to have to feature him in the videos quite a lot until the window shuts. Tottenham have actually started spending money, and they are the club that are set to finally make a £20 million bid for the Everton centre-mid. They obviously just signed Sanchez from Ajax. Mentioned that we were first, so I obviously put that in a video. And now they are set to go in for Barkley in a £20 million deal. Next up is Krychowiak, obviously the PSG centre-mid. Not really getting into the team too much for PSG. Obviously, Unai Emery is a big fan of him, but Chelsea is set to make a move for the Polish centre-mid. Obviously, they looked a little bit weak in that area at the weekend. They played David Luiz there. Didn't really suit him. Played Bakayoko a bit further forward. I don't know. It didn't feel right. And Krychowiak would be a great addition. A lot like Kante, he can just break the ball down, but he's also got a decent pass on him as well. If they can get hold of him, I think it'd be a great signing. Next up is Candreva. Again, another player that features heavily in these videos is Candreva. Always seems to pop up. Chelsea may go for the Italy international, knowing Inter will sell him for a fee of around £25 million. He may end up leaving. Julian Draxler's next up. Bit of a strange one, this. I'm not really too sure on this one. I think this might just be like a bit of a rumour. Obviously, with Neymar signing, Draxler can play on the left wing or centre attack and mid. It's kind of like sparked rumours that Draxler may be leaving. Now, PSG only just signed him. He's done really, really well when he's been there. I don't see why they want to sell him, but that is the rumour that there are numerous clubs, including Manchester United, Arsenal, and Liverpool, all interested in the German winger. Jovetic is next up. The ex-Manchester City striker is interesting. Newcastle, they have to give up plans on signing him, though, due to the fact that they just can't seem to get a deal done. Obviously, Newcastle is struggling for signings at the moment. Jovetic was a huge interest in them. I think he would do really well at Newcastle as well. But there's some reason they just can't get any deals over the line. Chris Wood is, however, a deal that has been done. Burnley have signed the lead striker in a £15 million deal. It's a bit of a strange one for Burnley to let Andre Gray go and then go and sign Chris Wood. I don't really understand it, but Chris Wood did bang goals in for Leeds last season, so he could prove a valuable asset in the Premier League for Burnley. Carroll's next up. His career's stalled massively. Numerous injuries. His spell at Liverpool wasn't great. Numerous injuries after that. And Newcastle will go back in for Carroll to try and give him that lifeline and restart his career. Batshuayi's next up, getting linked with a move away to Lille. This has a bid 36 million for the Belgian striker. However, he came out and said he has no interest in leaving Chelsea. Obviously, pretty happy at sitting on the bench, to be honest. Coutinho, the biggest news, is going down recently in terms of transfers. Absolutely massive. Barcelona set to make another £138 million final offer. Now, the thing that has been bugging me as a Liverpool fan with Barcelona's offers is that they've all been if he wins the Ballon d'Or and if he wins the Champions League 3 times and if he does this, he does that. In terms of add-ons. So, the last bid, I think, was 121 million, but 90 of it was up front. So, you're looking at 31 million in add-ons from a club that's just got 200 million. That's what's, bugging me about it all. They're not making, I don't know, they're making serious bids, obviously, but they're not making bids that reasonable. As say, one of the stipulations was that he goes on to win the Ballon d'Or to get some more money from them, which is absolutely mental. I don't think he will be sold. I think Liverpool will keep hold of him for at least one more season. And a bit like the Suarez scenario, I can see him leaving next season. Next up is Oliver Burke. Obviously, he is playing for Leipzig in Germany. Crystal Palace will bid 15 million for the Scotland winger. They are apparently a big fan of him still. Don't think he features too much for Red Bull Leipzig. Obviously, they invested heavily in players, but also young players, and Burke was one of those. I think they signed him for about 15 million, so that may be a deal that they could end up accepting. Andre Gray is next up. Wrong one, Andre Gray. This is meant to be Damari Gray, in fact. Bournemouth has set a bid at 25 million for the Leicester winger. That is a little bit of a mess up on my part there. Next up is Diego Costa. Marseille, the latest club to show interest in the Spain striker. They're ready to give him a lifeline in League One. Benedict Howds is another player that Jurgen Klopp is keeping an eye on. He is keen on the Schalke centre-back and could get him for about an £18 million fee because of the fact that I think he's in his last year of his contract. And finally, we end on Vincent Janssen. He is set to join Wimmer in a £30 million double deal to West Brom. So, guys, apart from the little mess up, we have ended up with a decent transfer, few transfer rumours going on. Krachowiak to Chelsea would be an interesting one to see if they could get hold of him. And obviously, the Coutinho saga continues to go on, most likely until the end of this month. But, guys, if you did enjoy it, make sure you do drop a like, and I shall see you in the next one.